Hi everyone, this is Heather Lawton in from the Flourish Academy. This is episode 440, and if you're new to the Flourish Academy, we're a resource for photographers. We have tons of great free content. I am a professional wedding and portrait photographer. I've been in business for about 16 years, and last week I delivered a class in person called The 5 Most Important Things You Should Consider Before Starting a Photography Business. Now what was really interesting, yes, there are 5 things, but we seem to get stuck on one area or spend a lot of time on this designation between having a hobby and transitioning to a business. So there were people in that class that were avid hobbyists and they had decided they wanted to start businesses, but there were also people in that class that were hobbyists and really have no desire to start a business at all, but they were interested in the possibility of making money from their hobby. Now, I don't know about you, but I tend to find that camera gear is a little on the pricey side, and I want all of the cameras. So when I started my business, prior to starting my business, it was just a way to get someone else to pay for what I wanted. I had actually no intention of starting a business. I had a hobby, I wanted more gear, and I wanted to figure out a way that I could like raise money, earn money without starting a business and still get what I wanted. Okay, so I had this class, it went so well, I decided to put it free online live training. I'm gonna post a link below to register for that. There are multiple times so you can catch that. I'm super excited about it. So those were the 5 things. And because I like to make more work for myself, while I was teaching that class in person, we also started talking a lot about pricing, and there were a lot of questions and issues around pricing. And again, we're looking at this from 2 different viewpoints. One is I want to be a profitable business, and the other is, well, I have this hobby and I want to earn some money, and how can I do that legally? And by the way, you can. And in the free class, I will explain how that works, but you have to register. And when you register for that class, you can enter to win a free Wacom tablet, because I love my Wacom tablet. Not the point. I almost missed the point. I was starting to say, because I like to make more work for myself, I decided to split it into 2 free classes. So the first one is the 5 most important things to consider before starting a photography business. And then the next one is the 7 most common pricing photography mistakes, or at least the ones that I've seen in my experience teaching and leading and mentoring hundreds, maybe thousands of photographers. These are the ones that I see over and over again. So these are 2 free online live trainings. They're upcoming. I'm going to post the links below so that you can register for one or both or whatever suits you, but make sure you register because you can enter to win the free Wacom tablet. Now in front of me, I have my curriculum, and I was looking at the 7 photography mistakes, and I was thinking, if I could pull one of these out today, like what one of these stands out to me as the most impactful, or maybe one that you didn't think of? That's it. One you didn't consider before. And I think it's this one, I think. It's that you are pricing based on what you can afford or what you would spend. Now, when I started out as a wedding photographer and I was charging $500 or even $1,000 or a couple thousand, I was like, okay with that. I would have hired me. But now that I charge $8,200, I gotta tell you guys, I don't think there's any way I would pay for me. Now, I believe in my work and I believe in the value and the experience that I offer, but I don't think I would pay for myself, which puts me not in my target market. So a lot of photographers will set their pricing based on what they can afford or what they would spend, and that's a really big mistake. I mean, you have to define your target market and figure out who that person is. And of course, you have to look at your area and your experience and what that looks like in the genre that you're in. I mean, there are a lot of factors, but that's a pretty big mistake that I'm seeing. Also, in the Flourish Academy community group today, and if you're not part of the community group, I'll post that link below, make sure you join us. I asked everyone about their fears about pricing, and I started to hear some of the same things. So this might be you if you are worried that people will think you're out of your mind for charging what you do, or in general you're just worried what other people will think, or maybe you question your own work, like, am I good enough? Am I good enough to charge X, whatever X is? If you're like me, then you struggle with perfectionism, which is what is the perfect price? By the way, I don't think there's any such thing. Some people are afraid that they will offend people with their prices. I don't know what category you fall in here, but many of us are just overwhelmed. We're paralyzed because of all of these decisions around pricing, and we can't seem to take a step forward. So you definitely want to register for the free live class that I have on pricing, because I'm going to cover all of this, and I will have a Q&A at the end where you can ask questions, and I will address anything that you're struggling with. But you obviously can't make money or be profitable as a photographer unless you feel at least somewhat confident in what you're charging, because if you don't feel good about what you're charging, or if you don't believe in yourself, then why would you expect anyone else to? Okay, I'm going to post those links below. I hope to see you in the training.